Good evening, everybody. Our June 12th, 2023 meeting is now called to order. We're going to have invocation by yours truly, and then pledge by Councilman Nielsen. Let us stand for prayer. Shall we pray? Dear God, we thank you for this day that we are allowed to be here assembled to conduct the business of this historic, great city. We thank you as always for blessing us and looking down upon us. Lord God, except you build the house, they that build it labor in vain. And so we know we can't do anything without your grace and your mercy. We do appreciate your kindness and your goodness in keeping us from the storm that we experienced most recently. We thank you that even though we may have lost power, we didn't have any reports of loss of life, so we're grateful for that. Let us conduct this business of this great city in a way that's decent and in order. We ask these in your Son Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Please join me in the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, before we move to the rest of the agenda, as we read every council meeting, please take a moment to silence your cell phones during this meeting. The City Council encourages public participation. Comments are limited to 3 minutes per speaker. However, this time limit may be reduced if there are numerous speakers on one particular item. To ensure efficient proceedings, all persons addressing the City Council shall state their name and shall speak in a civil and courteous manner. Speakers shall address the agenda topic only to which they are speaking on and shall not be repetitive. Members of the audience, please respect the rights of others and do not create noise or other disturbances so as to disrupt or disturb persons who are addressing the City Council, council members who are speaking, or otherwise impede the orderly conduct of the meeting. All right, thank you for adhering to those things. Next, we have reading and approval of the minutes from our May 22nd meeting.
I make a motion that we dispense with the reading of the minutes of May 22nd and that they approved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to adopt the minutes as they have been recorded. Comments or questions, council, about that motion? Are there any public comments or questions about that motion? All right, seeing none, Mrs. Stacy, roll call vote.
Nelson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Harrington,
Yes.
PT.
Yes. All right, that motion carries. Next item on the agenda, we have one proclamation, excuse me, that we're recognizing tonight, read by Councilman Harrington.
This is a proclamation declaring June 14th, 2023 as birthday of the United States Army in the city of Natchitoches. And whereas on June 14th, 1775, the Second Continental Congress established a Continental Army to secure the common defense of the original 13 colonies during the War of Independence. And whereas the United States Army exists to preserve the Republic and defend the liberty and freedom of its citizens and national security interests. And whereas many citizens of Natchitoches served our country as members of the United States Army and gave the ultimate sacrifice in defense of this nation. Whereas it is proper to recognize the United States Army annually on its birthday and thank those who have served and those who are presently serving our nation. Now therefore, I, Ronnie Williams Jr., Mayor of the City of Natchitoches, do hereby proclaim June 14th, 2023 as birthday of the United States Army in the City of Natchitoches and commend its observance to all citizens. Please join the celebration of the U.S. Army birthday as we remember its creation in 1775. I move to adopt Resolution 58 of 2023.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Certainly we appreciate the service of all members of the armed forces. Today we're recognizing the branch of our armed services known as the Army. And we have two individuals who are here. They're not really known for being speakers, but we are thankful for your service. And certainly, not everybody chooses that route, but, you know, we don't take it lightly that you two and many others in the Army have decided to defend our freedom here in the United States of America. So we really appreciate it. Don't know if you want to come to the mic and just introduce yourself or how you want to do that, but we're grateful. Council may have some comments or something after you talk.
I just want to thank y'all for being here to celebrate the Army's 248th birthday. I've been lucky and grateful enough to serve 10 of those birthdays. I just want to also thank one of my future soldiers, Hunter Laurent, for being along in this ceremony. He's about to leave next week. So thank you for being here, and I wish you the best in your career. So, and thank y'all.
All right. Thanks a lot. Council members, are there any comments as we're celebrating the Army's birthday? You said, what year is this?
248, sir.
248.
Yes.
Wow.
240.
Yeah.
Thank you for your service.
249?
Your name.
Oh, Sergeant Hunt, Staff Sergeant Hunt. Staff Sergeant Hunt, excuse me.
Staff Sergeant.
Staff Sergeant Hunt LaQuante. Yes, ma'am.
Any members of the council?
You said thank you for your service.
Thank you for
Appreciate
your
you.
support.
Thank you.
Any public comment or question here? All right, again, I know all of us are appreciative of your service. Did we have a motion and a second? All righty, Mr. Stacy, roll call vote.
Nelson.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Harrington.
Yes.
PT.
Yes.
All right, Councilman Harrington, I'm going to present this to you and take a picture. Why don't you come up as well, sir? Again, he'll be joining next week. He also brought some cake for us to celebrate. All right, thanks again for your service to our country. Next couple items are for introduction, and the first one is read by Councilman PT.
Thank you, Mayor. Ordinance number 035 of 2023, and ordinance amending ordinance number 64 of 2001 by changing zoning classification of property described as follows. This property is located at 904 5th Street, whereas the Planning Commission of the City of Natchitoches, State of Louisiana, has recommended at their meeting on June 6, 2023, that the application of Trinetta Partisan to rezone the property described above from B2 commercial to R1 residential for a single-family residential development be approved. And this is for introduction.
Yeah, being introduced. Thank you, Councilman PT. I don't think we have Ms. Trinetta here today, but Chantrell is. Any other thing that need to be stated that doesn't really appear in the ordinance?
No, but there were some concerns about what can be placed on that lot, being that it was residential. We had several questions about the style homes that can be placed there. One of the questions that was asked was about mobile home placement or manufactured home placement. Those are not allowed in reference to the ordinance that was passed that said at the date of our ordinance being passed that no trailers or manufactured homes are allowed within the city limits anymore. We can clear that up and let her know that she could build a tiny home or any home that she wanted. She just couldn't do a trailer home.
Right. Comments, questions, council?
No, I was asked that same question, but no trailer homes, you're saying?
No, you can do a modular home, not a manufactured home.
Manufactured home, okay, modular manufactured, okay.
And obviously, we have a picture of the lot there. Okay. So again, this is, was it unanimously passed planning and zoning?
It was.
Okay. All right, just curious to know. All right, again, we're not voting on this today, it's just being introduced, so if council, if you have any questions that may emerge, please reach out to Chantrell and she can help to answer those questions, okay? All right, next item is just for introduction as well, it's also of the planning and zoning sort, and it's Councilman Nielsen.
Thank you, Mayor. Ordinance number 36 of 2023, an ordinance amending ordinance number 64 of 2001 by changing zoning classification of property described as follows. 501 Texas Street, and whereas Planning Commission of the City of Natchitoches, State of Louisiana, has recommended at their meeting on June 6, 2023, that the application of Michael Gilly, Bayou Soul, to rezone the property described above from B2 commercial to B3 commercial with BA zoning for consumption of high and low alcohol on premise. And again, it's 501 Texas Street, be approved. Now, therefore, be it ordained that the Honorable Ronnie Williams, Jr., Mayor, is hereby authorized, empowered, and directed to sign any and all documents necessary for acceptance of this bid. And this is for introduction.
All right, and this is just to start the process so that Bayou Soul on Texas Street can have, as Councilman Nielsen read in the introduction, alcoholic consumption on premises. So that's basically what this is about. Chantrell, is there anything else outside of that
No,
we're talking
sir.
about?
No,
And did it
sir.
also unanimously pass through?
It
Plan-
was.
Okay, unanimously through planning and zoning. Comments or questions, council? We don't have Mr. Gilly here today. I'm assuming he'll be here at the next meeting. So, but I don't know if there's anything you all have at this point. Okay, like I said, it's not something we're voting on today, but if there happen to be a question, certainly we can reach out to Ms. Rock. All righty, okay, moving on to some ordinances that are up for a vote. And the first one is going to be read by Councilman Nielsen.
Let me catch up with you.
Here you go.
I got it. Did come. Thank you, Mayor. Ordinance number 32 of 2023, an ordinance authorizing the mayor of the city of Natchitoches to award the bid for building and site work improvements, Public Works Building, 1608 Texas, Natchitoches, Louisiana, bid number 0660. Whereas resolution number 24 of 2023 was passed by the Natchitoches City Council on March 27, 2023, authorizing the mayor to advertise for bids for building and site work improvements, Public Works Building, 1608 Texas Street, Natchitoches, Louisiana. And whereas the bid was advertised in the Natchitoches Times on April 8, April 13, and April 20 of 2023 in accordance with law, and whereas 2 bid proposals were received and opened as follows. Martin Metal Construction, LLC, Natchitoches, Louisiana, $732,073. And bid number 2 was DSW Construction, LLC, Natchitoches, Louisiana, $794,560. And whereas on May 16th, 2023, the appointed committee of Clarissa Smith, Finance Director, Ed Lee, Director of Purchasing, Donald Forrest, Director of Public Works, and Betty Smith, Councilwoman at Large, reviewed the bid proposals for bids for building and site work improvements, Public Works Building, 1608 Texas Street, Natchitoches. And whereas the above appointed committee members unanimously recommend the city award the bid to the lowest bidder, Martin Metal Construction, in the amount of $732,073. This ordinance was introduced on May 22nd, 2023, and published in the Natchitoches Times on May 27, 2023. And this is up for final. I move that we adopt ordinance number 32 of 2023.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to adopt this ordinance. We do have Mr. Norman. I think he spoke before us last time he was here, council. I don't know if there's anything else you would want to know at this particular point. Obviously, you know, we're bound to take the lower bid, and that's what we're doing with the Martin Metal bid. So, don't know if you'll have any questions at this point or comments. Again, that would be the new home of our Public Works Department. Are there any public comments or questions here? Okay, seeing none, Mrs. Stacy, roll call vote.
Nelson.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Harrington.
Yes.
PT.
Yes.
All right, that motion carries. Next item is an ordinance as well. It's read by Councilman PT.
Thank you, Mayor. Ordinance number 033 of 2023, an ordinance authorizing the mayor of the city of Natchitoches to award the bid for runway 1735, taxiway and apron. Whereas resolution number 027 of 2023 was passed by the Natchitoches City Council on March 27, 2023, authorizing the mayor to advertise for bids for runway 1735, taxiway and apron. Whereas this bid was advertised in the Natchitoches Times on April 8th, April 13th, and April 20th of 2023 in accordance with law. Whereas one bid proposal was received and opened as follows. That was from, Aeroseal of Ohio Incorporation, Smithsville, Ohio, for $1,093,865. Whereas on May 11, 2023, the appointed committee of Clarissa Smith, Finance Director Ed Lee, Director of Purchasing Larry Cooper, Airport Manager, and Rosemary Eli, Councilwoman, reviewed the bid proposals for bids runway 1735 and taxiway and apron. I so move that ordinance 033 be adopted.
Second.
All righty, motion made and seconded. Ed explained some things a couple weeks ago. I think one of the things the council always wants to highlight and I want to know, Ed, how is this being funded?
It is fully being funded by the FAA and the LADOTD. The FAA is putting up 90%, the LADOTD Aviation Division is putting up 10%, and it covers not only the construction, but it also covers all the engineering on the project.
Right, and then we didn't talk about this offline, but there's a master plan. Is all this work pretty much adhering to the master plan? Is that what we got going on, or sometimes they're discovering stuff? I know we didn't talk
I'm
about
not
it
sure if
before.
this one exactly is on the master plan. I hadn't compared it, but every year we do the capital improvement plan, which is updated, and it will be back in front of the city council in August for the upcoming 5-year plan. So it constantly changes as the needs of the airport changes. So it doesn't always adhere exactly to the master plan, but I did double check it. I didn't compare it against the two, but this is the biggest need the airport has right now is rated by the FAA and DOTD, and that's why we're getting funded.
It's in some plan.
Yeah.
All right. It's in
The
some
capital
plan.
improvement plan.
Right, capital improvement plan, right. So fully funded by outside dollars. Council, I don't know if you got any other comments or questions about this. Are there any public comments or questions about this agenda item? Okay, seeing none, Mrs. Stacy, roll call vote.
Nelson.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Harrington.
Yes.
PT.
Yes.
All right, that motion carries as well. All right, next ordinance is read by Councilwoman at-large Smith.
Thank you, Mayor. This is ordinance number 034 of 2023 is an ordinance to designate funds from the American Rescue Plan for use by the city of Natchitoches to provide funding for infrastructure improvements and to otherwise provide with respect thereto. Whereas the city of Natchitoches is a municipality located in the Natchitoches Parish area under Homeroom Charter and a code of ordinance adopted by ordinance number 5 of 1977. Whereas the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021 enacted by the 117th Congress of the United States of America, referred to as ARPA, appropriated $350,000 to the state of Louisiana, which was then appropriated to the city to the ARPA Revenue Replacement Funding for the purpose of providing funding for government services that may have seen a shortfall of revenue funding them due to the COVID-19 pandemic, including but not limited to funding transportation infrastructure projects up to the amount of the city's revenue loss, just for the transportation projects. Whereas the Office of the Mayor is the proper recipient of the ARPA Revenue Replacement Funding. Whereas, further, it is desire of the governing authority to appropriate the ARPA Revenue Replacement Funding to the Office of the Mayor to be expended by the Mayor of the city or the administrative designee of the Mayor, the Finance Director. Now, therefore, be it ordained that the defined terms and recitals of this ordinance are incorporated herein, and be it further ordained, if necessary, that the budget of the city be amended to reflect the receipt of the ARPA Revenue Replacement Funding and its designation for expenditure by the Mayor or the Finance Director for the purposes of properly distributed to the transportation projects. Be it further ordained that if any provision of this ordinance or the application thereof is held invalid, such invalidity shall not affect other provisions, items, or applications of this ordinance. Be it further ordained that all ordinance or parts thereof in conflict herewith are repealed. This ordinance was introduced on May 22nd and published May 22nd, 2023, and published in the Natchitoches Times on May 27th, 2023. And I move for adoption of ordinance number 034 of 2023.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. This is just to add to our street budget. As we know, that's a never-ending battle, maintenance and improvement of the city street system. So we were looking at some streets that may have to be amended somewhat based on previous discussions, but very soon, if this passes, we'd like to get some streets before you, council, and that we could go ahead and try to approve this very soon and get some rehabilitation going on pretty quickly, okay? But do you have any comments or questions about this agenda item? This would just get us to, we had a 650 and using ARPA, American Rescue Plan dollars, to get us to about $1 million. And we'll have somewhere between 550 and 600,000 remaining from ARPA. Okay, they all have to be obligated by the end of this year, by the end of next year, and then they don't have to be spent until 2026. But obviously, we got some pressing needs now, of course. So, comments or questions? Are there any public comments or questions here? Yeah, Ms. Thompson, please come to the microphone.
Deborah Thompson. I think when you read it, you said $350,000 to Louisiana, or was it $350,000 to Natchitoches?
To Natchitoches.
Oh, okay. And so that $350,000 then goes into streets, the funding for...
Well, see, ARPA allows you to use it for, different areas. So streets are, that's one area you could use it.
Do you have other areas that you're considering for this money?
Yeah, we've done so far some demolitions. We've done utility assistance. What else have we done? Equipment purchases. Premium pay to the employees.
Yes. Yeah, and just to clarify, this $350,000 is a part of this over $6 million that the city was awarded. So it's not a separate award. This was a part of that complete award. We're just allocating that $350,000 at this point for that particular purpose.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other comments or questions here? All right, seeing none, Mr. Stacy, roll call vote.
Nelson.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Harrington.
Yes.
PT.
Yes.
All right, that motion carries as well. The next two items are ordinances up for introduction. And the first of such is read by Councilman Nielsen.
Thank you, Mayor. Ordinance number 37 of 2023, an ordinance authorizing the mayor of the city of Natchitoches, Louisiana, to enter into a memorandum and understanding with the Natchitoches Community Alliance Foundation, doing business as Natchitoches Economic Development Alliance, NEDA, which said memorandum provides for services to be provided by the Natchitoches Economic Development Alliance, providing for a one-year term, providing for advertising, further providing for severability, and further providing for a repealer and effective date of ordinance. City of Natchitoches is specifically authorized under Section 1.06 of the Charter of the City of Natchitoches to provide for the general welfare, safety, health, peace, and good order of the city, and further authorized under Section 1.07 of the Charter of the City of Natchitoches to enter into joint agreements or cooperative efforts with other governmental agencies. Whereas further, the Natchitoches Economic Development Alliance is a Louisiana not-for-profit corporation, has been designated as a 501c3 entity by the IRS, and whereas further, the city and the Development Alliance both have an interest in promoting economic growth, commerce, and tourism in the city and parish of Natchitoches, Louisiana, and whereas further, the Development Alliance is strategically positioned to support the city in its effort to grow its tax base by aligning resources and tools to foster an expanding and growing business and industrial sector, and the city desires to assist the Development Alliance in its goal to become the voice of economic development for Natchitoches Parish. And this is for introduction.
All righty. Thank you, Councilman Nielsen. We do have Laura Lyles is here with us today. We want to get her to come to the microphone. And she doesn't have her chamber hat on right now. She has a NEDA hat on. She's a woman of many hats, but we're happy that she's here and a great member of our community. All right, Laura, it's you.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, council members, for having me tonight and for your support over the past year. I think that you went out on a limb in a time of transition for the organization and said that we are going to support you for a year and we want to see results. And so I'm very happy to be here to discuss some of those results with you tonight in partnership with the city. It's been a very strong and fruitful partnership in a very short amount of time, and we're looking forward to continuing that. So some of the things that I'd like to brag on a little bit that could be considered big wins, and in some circles small wins, but we're going to count them all as wins and check marks for the organization and for the city. So we had expansions from both Alliance Compressors and Royal Martin this year. You guys saw the expansion from Alliance Compressors. So between the two of those major manufacturers here in the parish, we saw a total of $54.5 million in capital expenditures right here in the parish, 78 brand new direct jobs, 96 new indirect jobs for those projects, and a total of 1,204 existing jobs retained. I can't take credit for this, except that there's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes that everybody doesn't see whenever they just come here looking for incentives and partnerships for their expansions. There's a lot of conversations and tours, and so many of you have been on them, so thank you for those. And we're happy to welcome those new jobs to Natchitoches. That's what it's all about. We also were able to complete an economic development strategic plan alongside the very exciting city comprehensive plan that you all have invested in. Very happy to see the progress that we're making on the comprehensive plan, and the economic development strategic plan that went alongside that kind of helped guide a lot of the things that we're focusing on now on that master plan. So the mayor and I have worked very closely on that and are excited to welcome public comments in the coming months. We don't have all those details yet, but there's some big things coming, things that economically to grow that we need to have here and need support from the whole community on. So very happy to have made progress there. We are, for the first time in the life of Natchitoches Community Alliance, having quarterly stakeholder meetings with all of our members. So it is not just a board meeting, it is a membership meeting where we have educational opportunities for the folks that are there at those meetings. And we know that economic development doesn't happen in a vacuum, and so we're inviting all of our stakeholders from I'm sorry, did I miss my 3 minutes? All right, so we're having meetings. Also, one of the things I was tasked with was that the city was not the only investor, because when we started this conversation a year ago, the city was it. And so we are now very proudly up to 13 investors. We have a tremendous community here, and they believe in this. They know how badly we need it, and so we've gotten that up and checked that box. And we held the first Work Natchitoches Summit, which, if I could talk about it all day, it was amazing. And this organization is able to do that and accomplish those things with your support. So thank you very much.
Will you state your first and last name, please?
Yes, Laura Lyles.
Okay. And she had a really cool name of that Work Natchitoches. What did you name it?
The Work Natchitoches Summit.
It was called what?
Oh, well, our tagline was "Not Your Mama's Job Fair."
Yeah.
It's a lot more than a job fair.
No, I thought that was really good, really catchy.
You're doing a great job, Laura.
Laura's been a great partner. I'm really impressed with those number of investors that are, we started out as the only, and now there are 12 others. Okay?
That's great.
So that's really good. So I would agree with the Councilwoman at large. You're doing great in that capacity. I know that's not enough hours in the day, so forth, so on, but we really appreciate it. I think we're going to be better for it. And I would echo also what Laura is saying about she's been really great with the comprehensive plan, the master plan, that I think is going to be, phenomenal in terms of us growing in a strategic way. So it's going to benefit not only people who live here now, but those who visit here and those who will be leaders in the next few years. So again, great work, and happy to support this effort. Council, you got any other comments or questions for Laura?
It's an incredible alliance, and to watch it grow you've had a very good first year. So look for that to continue. The strategic plan, it just produces some wonderful conversation and thoughts. So it's been very good.
Okay.
Thank you.
All righty. Thanks a lot, Laura. Again, just for introduction, we'll see you again in about 2 weeks, all right? All right, next item for introduction is read by Councilwoman at-large Smith.
Thank you, Mayor. This is ordinance number 038 of 2023, an ordinance authorizing a franchise and vending contract in favor of Lake House Productions, LLC, doing business as Darkwoods Adventures, to locate a kayak kiosk at the boat launch located on Highway 504 and lease kayaks for use on Sibley Lake within the city limits of the city of Natchitoches, confirming the term of the franchise, conditions, and consideration for said franchise, and authorizing the mayor to execute the said franchise and vending contract on behalf of the city, providing for advertising, severability, and further providing for repeal and effective date of the ordinance. And I think we had someone here the last meeting to talk about the Darkwoods Adventures expenditure. So I don't know what else can be said. This is just out on Highway 6.
Well, this is Sibley Lake. It's going to be Sibley Lake. It's going to be Cane River too, or? Eventually Cane River.
And Chaplin's.
Oh, and Chaplin's Lake too? Yeah, NSU. All right, great. So touching several demographics and areas, geographic areas. I look at it as it's another thing to do when you come to Natchitoches. And I know the Summerlins, they were here a couple weeks ago, both Jason and Marty, and I think we've seen what they've done with Darkwoods. I mean, just the expansion over a short period of time, really ambitious and innovative folks. I think that's very clear. So, yeah, all about expanding our offerings is the way I see this. So they're not here tonight. I'm sure they're going to be here in a couple weeks. They were here a couple weeks ago. So I don't know if council, if you got anything to say about it,
Yeah,
but I think it's a great idea.
I do too.
they offer it. It will be on Sibley Lake. I see that now, okay. That's
So I
for
think
introduction.
they're starting on
only.
Sibley with the hope of expanding to our other two bodies of water. Okay. All righty. Well, again, that's for introduction on tonight. All right, these next few things, this is what we call housekeeping, and these are our resolutions. The first one is read by Councilman P.T.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution number 048 of 2023, a resolution fixing the time, day, date, and place of regular meetings of the City Council of the City of Natchitoches for the next 12 months. Be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Natchitoches in regular session convened that in accordance with Section 209 of the Home Rule Charter of the City of Natchitoches, that the City Council of the City of Natchitoches will meet in regular session at 5:30 p.m. on the second and fourth Mondays of each month for the next 12 months. Be it further resolved that the place of the meeting shall be the Natchitoches City Council Chambers at 716 2nd Street, City of Natchitoches, unless provided otherwise by the mayor upon public notice. I so move that we adopt resolution number 048.
Second.
All right, motion made and seconded. Again, this is just our custom time, 5 o'clock pre-meeting, 5:30 meeting, the second and fourth Monday of the month. So, council, I don't know if you have any comments or questions. This is how we've been doing it for a while. All right, are there any public comments or questions here about the meeting time? Okay, seeing none, Mrs. Stacy, roll call vote.
Nelson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes,
Harrington.
Yes.
P.T.
Yes?
All right, that motion carries. That was the time, date, and place, right?
yes.
Okay, I got you. All right, sorry about that, just a little confused. All right, next resolution is Councilman Harrington.
This is Resolution 49 of 2023, which is a resolution establishing meeting times and places of the Natchitoches Planning Commission, the Historic District Commission, the Airport Advisory Commission, and Waterworks District Number 1. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Natchitoches that the Planning Commission of the City of Natchitoches shall meet in regular session at 5 p.m. on the first Tuesday of each month at the City of Natchitoches Council Chambers. Be it further resolved, the Historic District Commission for the City of Natchitoches shall meet at 5 p.m. on the first Monday of each month at the City of Natchitoches Council Chambers. Be it further resolved that the Airport Advisory Commission will meet at 5 p.m. on the third Monday of each month, except December, at the Natchitoches Regional Airport Terminal. And be it further resolved that the Waterworks District Number 1 shall meet at 5:30 p.m. on the third Monday of each month at the Thomas Building located at 560 2nd Street. I move to adopt Resolution 49 of 2023.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Council, any comment or question here? All right, any public comments or questions about these meetings and places of these respective commissions? Okay, seeing none, Mrs. Stacy, roll call vote.
Nelson,
Yes.
Smith.
Yes,
Harrington.
Yes.
P.T.
Yes?
All right, that motion carries. Next item on the agenda is read by Councilman P.T.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution number 050 of 2023, a resolution appointing Stacey McCrary as clerk of the council for the City of Natchitoches. Be it resolved that the City Council does hereby take cognizance of the recommendation of Mayor Ronald Williams Jr. that Stacey McCrary be appointed as clerk of the council for the City of Natchitoches in accordance with Section 208 of the Home Rule Charter. And I so move that we adopt resolution number 050.
second.
All right, motion made and seconded, and that is my strong recommendation. All right, any comment or question here on this resolution? Council? Any public comments or questions here? All right, seeing none, Mrs. Stacy, roll call vote.
Nelson.
Yes.
Smith.
Triple yes.
Harrington.
Yes.
P.T.
Yes?
Let's keep.
All right, that motion carries. All right, next item on the agenda is read by Councilman Harrington.
This is Resolution 51 of 2023, which is a resolution appointing the auditor for the city of Natchitoches. And be it resolved that the city council does hereby take cognizance of the recommendation of Mayor Ronnie Williams Jr. that the firm of Thomas Cunningham, Broadway, and Totenbeer be appointed as the city auditor for the city of Natchitoches for the period of May 31st, 2023 through May 31st, 2024. I move to adopt Resolution 51 of 2023.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Thomas Cunningham at Broadway and Totenbeer, they've been our auditors. I think folks in finance will say they've been very responsive to us. Comments or questions, council? Any public comments or questions here about this housekeeping item? Seeing none, Mr. Stacy, roll call vote.
Nelson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Harrington.
Yes.
Petey.
Yes.
All right, that motion carries as well. Next item is read by Councilman Nielsen.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution number 52 of 2023 is a resolution appointing the fiscal agent for the city of Natchitoches. Be it resolved that ordinance number 37 of 2018 of the Natchitoches City Council awarded Sabine State Bank the contract for fiscal agent for the city of Natchitoches, and be it further resolved that the council does hereby take cognizance of the recommendation of Mayor Ronnie Williams Jr. that Sabine State Bank, Natchitoches, Louisiana, be appointed as fiscal agent for the city of Natchitoches for the term June 1, 2023 through October 31, 2023. It is further resolved that the city council hereby confirms the said appointment. And I move that we adopt resolution number 52 of 2023.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to adopt Sabine State Bank as our fiscal agent. Again, they have been responsive as well to our needs and a good partner for us. Council, do you have any comments or questions about this resolution? Yes.
Yeah, and just one comment, if you didn't notice, it did say from June to October, and that is the end of our agreement with them, and we'll be coming back to the council with the new agreement, so that's why it states October, so just in
Yeah,
case you did pick that up, yes.
That's all right.
Just a quick question, Mayor. How often do we rotate like banks? Do we try to use like every bank in the city, or is it just strictly that one bank?
Well, we actually put out an RFP, so if we decide that we want to change the bank because we're not happy, we actually can put out an RFP to get a quote or a bid from any bank within the city. So we've done that. This one is a 5-year agreement, so we're ending that 5-year agreement as of October, and we'll make the decision on whether or not we go out for an RFP or if we agree to continue with their services, and we will just renew our agreement at that point.
I know they said city was once the fiscal agent.
Oh, yeah,
Was
Mid-South.
People's once the fiscal agent too, I think.
Yeah.
Well, they've had a couple
Remember that
iterations since
years ago.
People's.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
So we've used various.
We've used a few in the city. Mhm. All right, any public comments or questions here? All right, and thanks, Clarissa, for that clarification on the October, why that says it like that. All right, seeing none, Mrs. Stacy, roll call vote.
Nelson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Harrington.
Yes.
Petey.
Yes.
All righty, that motion carries. All right, next item on the agenda is read by Councilwoman Lloyd Smith.
Thank you, Mayor. This is resolution number 053 of 2023, a resolution designating the Natchitoches Times as the official legal journal for the city of Natchitoches for the next 12 months. Be resolved that by the city council in regular session convened, but that the Natchitoches Times is hereby designated as the official legal journal for the city of Natchitoches for the next 12 months. And I move for adoption of resolution number 053.
I second.
All right, motion made and seconded to adopt this resolution to have the Natchitoches Times as our legal journal. All right, any comments or questions here, council? Any
Thank you,
public
Carolyn.
comments or questions? Public comments or questions?
Glad to have Miss Carolyn and them here.
Okay. All right, seeing none, Mr. Stacy, roll call vote.
Nelson.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Harrington.
Yes.
PT.
Yes.
All right, that motion carries as well. All right, next item is read by Councilman Harrington.
Resolution 54 of 2023, which is a resolution appointing the city attorney and assistant city attorneys for the city of Natchitoches. Be resolved that the city council does hereby take cognizance that Mayor Ronnie Williams Jr. has reappointed Alex Washington as city attorney for the city of Natchitoches in accordance with section 4.02 of the Home Rule Charter. And be it further resolved that the city council does hereby authorize the reappointments of 5 assistant city attorneys, and upon the recommendation of the city attorney and the mayor, that Daniel T. Murchison Jr., Cloyd Benjamin Jr., Gary Conley, Jonathan Blake, and Steve Oxenhandler are hereby confirmed and approved as assistant city attorneys to serve in accordance with the provisions of section 4.02C of the Home Rule Charter. I move to adopt Resolution 54 of 2023.
Second.
All right, motion made and seconded. Again, this is my strong recommendation as well. I think a really good legal team that we've got here. Spent some time with a couple of them today on the conference, but again, really strong legal team. So I think they're doing great work. All right, any other comment or question here? Any public comment or question? Yes, ma'am.
Hello, my name is Precious Barber. I would like to say, without stating names, I strongly disagree with 2 of these people being a part of the city's attorneys. And I forgot to say, because y'all went too fast, I also would like to recommend, if we can, to find someone other than the Natchitoches Times to also do business with the city of Natchitoches. So I have an issue with those 2. Once again, I would like to say that 2 of these attorneys, I would like them not to be a part of the city. And I disagree with Natchitoches Times. I want my constituents to know that I did speak up.
I want to say, I think we have to go with Natchitoches Times because you have to go with a newspaper. We don't have another newspaper here in this Natchitoches area. That's why we have to go with the Natchitoches Times. That's the only reason. If there was another newspaper, we could look at another.
We couldn't do the real views or any of them.
You have to be multiple times a week, I think, right?
Yeah.
Maybe a couple.
And the reason why I'm saying it is because I want people to be up here when they get ready to speak, give their comments. I believe that it's your job to do the news. It's not your job to be here bullying people as they're speaking. And I have a problem with that. It is not your business to be saying that you're ready to go home to a basketball or football game when people are speaking. I find that to be very rude. I've had people who came to me that said, Precious, I be wanting to talk, but then you have the news person rolling faces, making comments. That's why I don't agree with the Natchitoches Times. I don't agree with 2 of these attorneys because of favoritism, and that's just my belief. So I had to stand up because if I don't say something, and when election time comes, they're going to say, well, Precious, you didn't say anything. So I want to make sure that my voice is heard for the people who cry out, who would love to speak. We always tell the people to come to these meetings, but when you have people bullying them from seats, that's not right. And I wish y'all pay more attention to that. That is the cries of my hearts and those who follow me. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Any other public comment on this matter? All right, seeing none, Mr. Stacy, roll call vote.
Nelson.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Harrington.
Yes.
PT.
Yes.
All right, that motion carries. Next item on the agenda is read by Councilman PT.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution number 055 of 2023, a resolution appointing members to the City Planning Commission for the City of Natchitoches. Whereas the mayor of the City of Natchitoches has submitted the following names for appointment to the Natchitoches City Planning Commission: Charles Whitehead III, Reverend Bobby Claiborne, Michael Lewis, Ricky McAllister, Walter Johnson, Isaac Lewis, Ron Brown, Anita Dubois, and Ethel Blake. Whereas Further, Section 2417 of the Natchitoches Code of Ordinance provides that the members of the commission shall serve at the pleasure of the mayor with consent of the Natchitoches City Council. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Natchitoches that they hereby acknowledge the appointment of the above individuals to the City Planning Commission and hereby approve and consent to same. I so move that we adopt resolution number 055.
Second.
All right, motion made and seconded. Chantrell, you work closely with not only Planning and Zoning, but the Historic District Commission. We're on Planning Commission now. Any comment you have at this point?
No, sir, it's been a pleasure to work with both commissions. As we move further along and we have them to understand what our reasons for having a planning commission or a HDC commission, I think the commissioners would serve well to be a support for the city.
And make it known, these are not paid positions. This is strictly volunteer. They're volunteering their service. They do not get paid for this.
Correct.
Good point, Councilwoman at-large Smith, and thank you also as well, Chantrell. Council, any other comments or questions here?
Good group.
Any public comments or questions on this matter? All right, seeing none, Mrs. Stacy, roll call vote.
Nelson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Harrington.
Yes.
PT.
Yes.
All right, that motion carries. Next item on the agenda is read by Councilwoman at-large Smith.
Okay. Number 56. Resolution number 56 of 2023 is a resolution appointing members to the Natchitoches Historic District Commission for the City of Natchitoches. Whereas the mayor of the City of Natchitoches has submitted the following names for appointment to the Natchitoches Historic District Commission: Jared Donahoe, Dr. Virginia Crosno, Mrs. Sharon Gahagan, Dr. Steve Horton, Mrs. Melissa Robertson, Mrs. Marion Salter, Drake Owens. Whereas the ordinance number 31 of 1986 of the Natchitoches Code of Ordinance provides that the members of the commission shall serve at the pleasure of the mayor with consent of the council. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Natchitoches that they hereby acknowledge the appointment of the above individuals to the Natchitoches Historic District Commission and hereby approve and consent to same. And I move for adoption of resolution number 056.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Chantrell made a comment earlier when she spoke about the Planning Commission, saying that she works well with the Historic District Commission as well. So just, I don't know, Council, if you got any comments or questions here?
Another good group.
Any public comments or questions on this matter?
I would like to know, my name is Precious Barber. First of all, before I make my statement, is Melissa Robinson, is that a Caucasian or African American?
African American.
Do we have any low-income people that live in the historic district that is a part of this group?
That's the group right there.
Well, what I'm requesting is that, because we do have people that do live in the historic district that come from low income, could you at least have one person that's on that district that can be a voice for those who are in poverty that live in that district, because their voice needs to be heard? I believe that on any type of committees you have, you should always have people from low income on those committees. The last one, I did see someone from low income, so I was just asking, because I do know particular people that do live in the historic district that come from low income housing.
I won't say Ms. Melissa's low income, but Ms. Robinson's low income, but I believe she is in the historic district.
Okay, well, I know, what I'm saying is that I know particular people that do live in the historic district that are low income, and I would suggest that we could have at least one voice for low income people up on this committee and all committees, because at least our voice can be heard on the committees. Thank you.
But when you say low income, that's what I'm saying. I don't know her.
No, I'm not talking about her. I'm just,
situation or anyone else's situation, but I know she lives in the historic district, so I can't say if she's low income or moderate or.
oh, I'm not talking about
Right.
Melissa. I'm just
I
saying in
understand.
general.
Yeah, no, we appreciate your comment.
Yeah, just in general.
Any other public comments or questions? Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Deborah Thompson. My question has to do with the purpose of the commissions. So is there a written statement on why they're meeting, what they're doing, and so where is it? Is it
Yeah,
on the
this,
website? Is it?
Let me defer to Chantrell on this one.
For each commission that's been developed, there is an ordinance that states why each one was developed, the number of people that will be there, and the term limit. Like for planning and zoning, we listen to the city ordinances and reference to all of our zoning regulations, our subdivision regulations, and other ordinances. So when our applicants come before us, they present an application, and the commission will listen to see if that application is in compliance with any ordinance. The same thing with HDC. The historic district looks at mostly the outer appearance or the outer elevations of structures to make sure that they fall into the guidelines for historic preservation.
Okay, so to piggyback on her question, then how are they chosen? Is there would you like to serve on the commission, and what are your qualifications for serving? I mean, how do you choose the people that you put on the commission?
My understanding, I'm sorry, I'll use you, ma'am.
Well, Chantrell, do you want to, is there something you could say about that, or?
Well, most of them have been appointed by the previous administrations, or if there was someone who says, I want to serve on these commissions, then we do allow them to. But they have to, there are things that we meet certain times of the month, certain days, and so that usually knocks a lot of them off.
And that information is public information?
It
There's an
is.
opening on the commission, would you like to, and that information is published in the Natchitoches Times, so that people understand that there's an opening and somebody's going to be appointed?
No, we haven't actually put it in the newspaper when there was an opening. We've never had to do
Never
it
had
in
an
that way. But, I mean, it's free to know that if you want to serve, you can always come to myself or the mayor.
Pardon? No, I don't
Yeah.
want to serve, I'm just questioning.
Okay.
I've got enough to do.
This is Precious Barber. I don't care about who's sighing when I'm getting ready to answer a question. My question is, like she was saying, if it's not public information where they can see it, how do they know when to apply? That's my question. If they don't know that this volunteer position is up, how do they know to apply? That's something that I've always been advocating the city to do, is that I don't know who y'all PR people is, but it's just like sometimes information just don't get out there. And then it don't get out there in a way to everyone can be able to see it. And then if it is put out there, it's put out there like 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. And when you're dealing with certain people, you have to constantly put information back to back to back to back to back. Like say for instance, you doing the Juneteenth on the 17th. Okay, I posted 30 shares. But yes, we got to reiterate, because it's still people like, Juneteenth? We having a Juneteenth program? And I'm like, it's free. You need to come down there. So it's still like people don't know. So that's my question is, if these positions are up for grabs and there's no public publication, how do they know?
Well, most of the terms are for 4 years for each commission. So for each commission, it's set with the mayor's appointment. When the mayor comes in at his 4-year term, or however he's going to term, then he selects who he's going to choose during his administration.
I understand all that, but is that also publicized? Like when that 4-year come in, hey y'all, we finna get ready to choose for this commission, this commission, this commission. If you would like to be a part of the commission, come down to the mayor's office and apply. And hopefully if there's qualifications or whatever they got to do to get it, if you meet the qualifications, then maybe you can get the position.
I don't think
Like-
it's set up like that. I don't think it's set
Yeah,
up.
it- I
Well,
don't
how
think-
it's set up.
Nah, it's
You just
never
kind
been
of
set
work
up
from a
like
list.
that.
You work from a list of people. You may have kind of,
Work with or know.
you know, developed of residents who would be willing to serve in the community. And as these become available, you kind of pick from that list that you want to, you ask them. Sometimes people say no, and you move to the next person.
Sometimes people resign from these boards, and it's someone else, you may be asked to serve on the board, so that's normally how it's done. once the
Okay.
appointments are made.
Well, I'm just suggesting, because I also know people who come from low income, who are educated people, that would probably like to serve on some of these boards, and without the public knowledge of knowing when to come, whether it be every 4 years, every 2 years, if they don't know something. Because once again, we always say, we want the people involved.
People involved, right.
But
Maybe
the people
something-
don't always know what's going on.
Yeah, but maybe something, great idea, Precious, maybe something we can look at doing, advertising when these positions, when a vacancy come available. Give
Okay.
people an opportunity to apply if they want to do that.
Okay,
And they'll
thank
have
you.
to submit like a little short resume, something that they've done.
Thanks for your comment. Any other comments on this matter? Okay, seeing none. Mrs. Stacy, roll call vote.
Nelson.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Harrington.
Yes.
PT.
Yes.
All right, that motion carries. Next item on the agenda is read by Councilman Nielsen.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution number 57 of 2023 is a resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into a maintenance agreement including mowing and litter pickup with the State of Louisiana Department of Transportation and Development, Office of Engineering, beginning July 1, 2023 through June 30, 2024. And whereas DOTD lacks sufficient personnel and equipment to perform mowing and litter collection on a routine and continuing basis, and wishes to enter into an agreement with the City of Natchitoches to perform maintenance directly related to mowing and litter collection on the state roadways within the City of Natchitoches. And I move that we adopt resolution number 57 of 2023.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. This is nothing new about this, that agreement with DOTD. I'll just, full disclosure, something we've been trying to work on in the mid-size city conference, which is cities over, what is it, Randy, 10,000 people? Is that what it is? Between 10,000 and 20?
10 to 25.
10 to 25. So we've had this discussion recently at West Monroe, and even before that, when it was somewhere else, about seeing if we can get some more money through DOTD. I need to check with our folks, our lobbyists in Baton Rouge, to see if that actually did happen. But what I'm told is it's good for us to go ahead and have a contract, because some cities don't have a contract at all. So it's good to at least have a contract. We do think DOTD, it's our opinion as mid-sized cities that DOTD should give more money because we're, cutting more than the money they provide. And also when you address the litter. So we're still going to work on that. But I did call a mayor in the conference, and he said, look, they got the contract, went ahead and voted on the contract, and still going to come back and try to see if there can be any dollars from DOTD to really meet what we're cutting and what it takes to maintain these state highways. So don't know if there are comments or questions, council, about this? Are there any public comments or questions here? All righty, Sam.
Yeah, one question. When we say enter to the maintenance agreement, now, are they going to be helping us pick up the litter? I would like to know that much.
No,
No, they're just
that's
providing the funding for it, right?
some funding,
Some
I'd say.
funding for it. Okay, I just want to
There's a debate whether it's adequate or not. but-
Our department would still be doing the, okay, I just want to understand this.
Right.
Okay.
Okey-dokey. All right. Mr. Stacy, roll call vote.
Nelson.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Harrington.
Yes.
PT.
Yes.
All right, that motion carries. Next item on the agenda is Councilwoman at-large Smith. Read by
Thank you,
Councilwoman.
Mayor. Resolution number 059 of 2023, a resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with Candace Insurance for the Travelers Insurance Group Casualty Package Insurance, renewal effective date June 30, 2023 through June 30th, 2024. Whereas the Insurance Committee has reviewed the proposal submitted for the general liability, employee benefit liability, law enforcement liability, public entity management liability, public entity employment-related practices liability, auto liability, auto physical damage, umbrella, and crime insurance for the City of Natchitoches, and recommends the contract in the amount of $513,900 $513,908 be awarded to Candace Insurance for the period June 30, 2023 through June 30, 2024. Be it resolved that the Honorable Ronnie Williams, Jr. Mayor is hereby authorized, empowered, and directed to sign in and all documents necessary for the execution of this contract. I move for adoption of resolution number 059, 2023.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Ed, any additional comment to simplify for us?
Yeah, this is the city's big policy that covers all the things that Ms. Smith just mentioned. And this is a renewal from last year. And we feel like it's a good renewal. Last year, we shopped it really hard. And this renewal, while there was an increase, it's still less than all the other quotes we received the prior year when the economic, environment for insurance has gone up. So it's still a good quote, and the Travelers is a strong company. They can pay their claims, and we feel comfortable with renewal Travelers.
Okay. Any comments or questions, council? Are there any public comments about this item? Yes, sir.
I just got a question. It appeared to me when I read this is two insurance companies. Is it?
State your first and last name, please.
Oh, my name is Ronald Payne.
Okay. All right, Ed, can you answer that question?
Is it two insurance companies?
Yeah, I can clarify that. What you have is you have the agent, which is Cadence Insurance. They're strong in the whole southeastern part of the United States. Used to be part of Bancorp South. And they're the agent. Travelers is what they call the carrier. They actually have all the risk on the claims.
Well, the reason why I had the question is that I had a company too, and I dealt directly with Travelers. That's the only reason why I asked the question.
Okay. No, we appreciate you. Any other comments or questions here? All right, seeing none, Mrs. Stacy, roll call vote.
Nelson.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Harrington.
Yes.
PT.
Yes.
All right, that motion carries. Next item on the agenda is read by Councilman Nielsen.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution number 60 of 2023, a resolution granting authority for the City of Natchitoches, State of Louisiana, to issue, sell, and deliver in the name of the city utilities revenue bonds in an amount not exceeding $11,645,000 in one or more series for the purposes of financing the project as defined herein, seeking state bond commission approval, providing for the employment of bond counsel, a municipal advisor, and an underwriter, and providing for other matters in connection therewith. Whereas this city council of the city, acting as governing authority of the city, proposes that utilities revenue bonds will be issued by the city in the manner prescribed by and under the authority of Section 1430 of Title 39 of the Louisiana Revised Statutes of 1950, as amended, and other constitutional and statutory authority payable solely from income and revenues of the system, subject to the prior payment of the reasonable and necessary expenses of operating and maintaining the system. Whereas the governing authority of the city now desires to give notice of intention pursuant to the act to issue not to exceed $11,645,000 of utility revenue bonds to finance the project. And I move that we adopt resolution number 60 of 2023.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. We do have a member from Government Consultants here. Anything you think need to be stated? You just here to represent the item? Okay, all right, good. So y'all, this is really big. This is, we know we got the $5 million for the water sector grant, which was a challenge to get. It wasn't easy to do. And that $5 million married with the 11 that we're gonna borrow Had we not had the 5 million, we're gonna have to borrow all 16 million, close to 17 million. So the 5 million is huge. But this $11,645,000 is going to be the water treatment project. So we're checking all those boxes. We see the light at the end of the tunnel. All of those things coming together with this project. So Matt's not here. He and Kevin are together right now.
Yeah,
Alex has something.
Yeah, I can add, and just for the council purposes, this is the preliminary approval process going to the State Bond Commission. So we're using this resolution to make an application to the State Bond Commission for them to review, whether or not the city could issue these bonds, whether or not it's a good deal. That meeting is set for July 20th. We have an application deadline of June 20th that we will submit that application plus this resolution from the council. Upon approval from the State Bond Commission, we'll come back to the council with the terms of the loan and the conditions for you to, give final blessings for.
Okay, that's in section 3, I think. I was just looking.
Thanks for that clarification, Alex.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, any comments or questions, council? All right. Any public comments or questions here? Okay, seeing none. Mrs. Stacy, roll call vote.
Nelson.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Harrington.
Yes.
PT.
Yes.
All right, that motion carries. Also, last item on the agenda, read by Councilman Harrington.
This is Resolution 61 of 2023, a resolution authorizing the mayor of the city of Natchitoches, Louisiana, to submit a loan application Form 100A and accompanying documents to the Department of Health on behalf of the city of Natchitoches for the purpose of placing this project on the comprehensive priority lists for funding through the Drinking Water Revolving Loan Funding Program. I move to adopt Resolution 61 of 2023.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. This is for us to start the application process here as well. This is a 14-month process, but the good thing about this drinking water revolving loan, there's opportunity to be, to have a much lower interest. Do you remember the interest, Clarissa, for drinking water revolving
If I'm
loan?
not mistaken, in our conversation, it was between 2 and 3%.
Yeah, very low, very good. I mean, unheard of in this type of market right now.
And the
But they're able to lock
possibility
it
for
in.
some forgiveness of the
And then the
loan.
40, potentially 49% forgiven. So we want to be able to get this. It'll be more savings to the city when you think about the 5 million. And then, certainly if we can get there. So again, we can see everything kind of coming together with the water treatment project. And these two agenda items, the one you just approved and this one here, are really critical to building the water treatment facility for the future. Comments or questions, council?
Getting closer.
Getting closer, that's right. That's right, that's right. Yeah, we like it, we like it. Public comments or questions? Okay, seeing none, Mrs. Stacy, roll call vote.
Nelson.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Harrington.
Yes.
PT.
Yes.
All righty, that motion carries. Always, never gonna stop doing it. Remember, our next meeting is on the 26th, 2 weeks from now. Offices are closed this Friday for Juneteenth. All right, we did double check. The state is doing Friday. I think we looked at that, so we went with the state this year. I think one year we went with the federal government, but the state did something else. But we double checked that the state is doing that.
Go with
We want to
federal
encourage you
next
to
year.
download Regroup. Hurricane season has officially started. There was already some activity in the Gulf. I don't think it made any impact to land. But again, obviously storms, we put some stuff on Regroup. We were in the parade and
Yeah.
the storm happened and knocked the tents
Not
down and all of
Out of
that.
control.
And we do need to commend our emergency response folks, whether it's Public Works, Utility Department, did a
Fire
phenomenal
department.
job. Police and fire as well, where they aid,
Police.
even times where community development may have to aid as well. So we do appreciate that. People responded real quickly to that storm. But also, as we always say, go Natchitoches out. We have Farmers Market going great, Master Your Garden. I think it should be Your Garden. And that's going to be this Saturday at from 8 to 12. So make sure you visit the Farmers Market. There's always really good vendors who are there with some really good product. All right, I think the next one is a farmer's market as well. Oh, no, it's not. All right, we're gonna do, this is, Juneteenth kickoff. All right, Khalees, you were you were doing this today. Good job. Khalees is one of our summer interns. She was
Done a
great last
great
year.
job.
She's great this year as well. Wonderful graphic here. So we're having a kickoff on Friday. All right, on Friday at the parklet here, and there will be some refreshments to go along. But just to this is what we're going to say what Juneteenth is. All right, we're going to talk about the history very briefly, not a very long event, but Friday at 10 a.m. we'll be doing the kickoff, okay? All righty. Next item, and we'll get that published as well. We've been announcing this, but we've got pop-up shops happening on Saturday. We were looking forward to doing a celebrity basketball game, but they told me they wanted me to take it easy on everybody as I was lighting them up on last year. No, honestly, we couldn't. Our youth are kind of different places, travel basketball and things like that. It was kind of hard to really get, a lot of participation. So we're not going to do the basketball this year, but starting at 3 p.m., pop-up shops will be, they're available on the riverbank from 3 to 6, or really they could be 3 until to the end of the program at 10 o'clock. We'll have DJ Rob Real on the ones and twos. I think everybody knows DJ Rob Real. Then we'll have the Louisiana Sidemen. They'll be performing from 6 to 8. We have Mr. Keith Frank, who was here last year. Great concert from 8:15 to about 9:45. And then we will have fireworks culminating with fireworks. So again, we're looking for a fun and festive where everybody is invited because it is freedom, and freedom is a part of who we are as Americans. So, this is not just an African American thing. This is, everybody who wants to celebrate freedom, come do it, all right? Okay, so again, free admission to the concert. There will be vendors, snow cone, stand or two, food trucks will be there. As we said, the pop-up shops, there'll be a kid zone as well there. So again, it's going to be a great event, we believe. And then on the 18th, that next day, which is Father's Day, so there will be a ride. If we're sticking with our third Sunday, Bike Sunday, which we want to be consistent. We have ebbs and flows with that, but want to invite people to come out to that. So again, this Sunday is one of our Bike Sunday events, all right? Okie dokie. Is there anything else, Steve? Okay, Father's Day weekend. Looks like free fun for the whole family. The 17th and 18th, this is Granny Court Visitor Center. So come for games such as cornhole, the ladder toss, life jacket racing, and more. So again, want to do that at the Granny Court Visitor Center. Then you got lunchtime lanyap going on Friday. This is not this Friday, but next Friday, June 23rd, from 12:15 to 12:45, and this is going to be at the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame building. Okay, so again, always some great things going there. All right. And then we got another farmers market, corn eating contest. It's going to be the 24th. Again, they always come up with some great themes to get people involved. I should say, what was it, last Saturday? No, not Saturday. But we do need to say that NPD, the Battle of the Badges, they were the victors. All right, the NPD. Now we know, good job. We know Fire they've gotten their wins before.
I wasn't there. That's fine.
That's why, okay.
Yeah,
That's what you're trying to say.
Chief Witt said,
okay.
had he been there.
Had he been there.
Had he been there. All right, so again, let's participate. There's some great things going on. All right, that's it. Okay, all right, great, awesome. So again, a lot of events going on around town. Make sure you attend them. There was something else I wanted to say. I forgot about Juneteenth, but hey, again, the kickoff and then the things going on Saturday. Oh yeah, City Hall will be closed. City offices will be closed on Friday in observance. I think I said that earlier, but Friday in observance of Juneteenth, okay? All righty. Council, if there's nothing else.
I just want to say because we're going to try to look at trying to reschedule another parade. Things happen Saturday, as we know,
Right.
unfortunately. So we're going to look at trying to do that again because it kicks off our citywide Juneteenth event. So
Right. Right, you can't. Mother Nature is hard to.
Right.
Mother Nature is undefeated, I think, right? All right, nothing else, council. We're here, motion to
I'll
adjourn.
make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right, motion has been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned. Thank you, folks. Have a great